Great. We just want to make sure we're over 1,000 counts a second, right? Over 1,500 counts. Yeah. Okay. Working with spectra, okay. Acquire the spectra, great. I go down to ID it. I could label whatever I want to label. Great, 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 great. We did all this. Who cares? I don't know if we're talking about that anymore. Beat it.
So you're saying that this is all noise, or would it be fair to say that these are trace elements, or?
There's trace elements in this noise. Okay, so, alright, so we talk about advanced stuff, but we can as well. Okay, so the beam that gets generated from this microscope is secondary electrons, primary electrons, and X-rays. Backscatter or primary electrons. So secondary, backscatter, X-rays. It generates three things. Well, the detector, the X-ray detector, has a collimator on it, which is a magnet. And it tries to repress the backscatter and the secondary electrons because that's noise. So if that collimator wasn't there, you would really probably see just, all this would be just a hump, and you might see just a little tiny fraction of it made because there'd be too much noise for the detector to process. So the magnet suppresses the primaries and secondaries back, but it can only do so much of a job because that's what the beam is bringing us. And so all of this stuff here is noise. Now, if we had a true X-ray fluorescence source, not an E-beam, but a true X-ray fluorescence source, we would have this noise, and we would see trace elements a little bit easier, for instance. Now, after we label this, let's just do a quick auto ID, and let's quantify this. You can see the noise, right? See how much noise we have? So if we analyze this, we quant it. See what it did to the noise? It dumped it. It dumped it, and see this white line that's around the peak? That's the only thing it looked at for the analysis file. So there's algorithms in here, in our quantum analysis file that we do, that we dump background noise. We subtract it.
How do you do that again?
So if we use the flowchart system, right, all I would need to do is just hit analyze. I skipped and I hit the calculator up here. We haven't gone over that yet. But there's a lot of ways to skin a cat in this software. I'm just about to hit those ways. Alright, so basically we started off talking about the flowchart system of we could do all of our stuff here, right? But realistically, I don't have to do that. I could just come right up here and I could click on, I've got four main windows: spectra, image, map, line scan, right? Same thing up here, four main windows. I can just click on the spectra window, just acquire spectra. And then to get all the rest of my information in the spectral tab, if I highlight it, it gives me all that information. So now if I hit stop, right? And now if I want to view that information, let's just leave it up. So, that acquired a spectrum. Give me a second here. Alright, that's just properties. So that's the properties tab that we saw in the flowchart as well, right? So that was properties. This is just some settings, who cares? This acquires a spectra, great. Let's hit stop. That'll make things live again, alright? That's the XRF panel, we don't have it, so don't worry about it. Auto ID labels the peaks, great. Periodic chart, another reading from a periodic chart there, great. Clears the information. Re-auto ID. Right now this is manual processing, so this works step by step. So if you wanted to manually process the information, you go smooth it, remove the escape peaks, remove the background, deconvolute the spectra, quantify. So that did everything manually for you, instead of hitting the calculator. Okay? So let's just restore the spectra back to where it was. That's what I just did. And so now this right here, max settings, don't worry about that for now. ZDF is the method of quantitation that we're doing. So analyze our calculator. So if we acquired a brand new spectra, that's a whole new window. And if we hit stop, auto ID, and then analyze, that gives us our quant as well. Same thing as what we did here, right? Just a little skipping around, right? And then thin film, skip it. Annotations, this brings up our text window again. We could annotate. This is create standards and calibrate standard files. Skip these for now, we don't need to know. Overlay, we went over overlaying. So if we had a spectra saved, we want to overlay spectra on this. If we look into fake, there's nothing in there. But let me just acquire spectra. Let me save the spectra in fake. Go stop. Let me go like that. blah, we save, that's gonna get saved in fake, and I'll save that. So now we have a Spectra saved in there. So if I wanted to overlay Spectra, I look there, I double click that, and overlay that Spectra on top. Okay, in green is the overlay. Right, so it's overlay. So if I analyze this, I could view the analysis or not view the analysis, right? That generates a Spectra report, don't care for that about right now. If you import the Spectra report, beat it. Export to Word, so you have an export to Word doc right in there for you, so that'll export to Word again. And then copy paste, so if you copy as displayed, copy as displayed. Do we have Word on this computer? I don't know if we have Word on this computer. Did you see it? How can you publish in that Word? Interesting. Click here, right click, paste. Yeah, paste it. Come on. Paste. What was it doing, Mark? What the hell? Okay, enough of you. Sorry. Oh, come on, give me a break. I don't have a good account. I recommend getting a Microsoft Office account. Oh, service line. I do not believe. Ooh, that sounds. Where's your file root? I can't see from over there.
Open, export, open.
I just want a new one. I just want something new.
Okay. New is inactive.
Oh, it won't let me open new because it doesn't have it. It's not been. It hasn't been activated on this PC, even though I do have a saved file on here, which makes no sense. What else? Sometimes you have. Anyway, activate Office. You know, sign up for it. Oh, here's Word.
Not activated.
Activate. Oh yeah, that's why it needs to be activated. All right, we need to create an account. All right, so anyway, sign up for Word or whatever, Microsoft Office, get yourself an account going, and this way you can do some more stuff here. Okay, but that was copy paste, and then auto vertical scale scales to the highest peak. So if we just open up the Spectra window, so without that selected, peaks are very low, right? You have to manipulate them using your mouse, or you can just very easily go, auto vertical scale that, and then up, down, shrink, separate, so on, cursor. This gets rid of your cursor, so now you have no more cursor control. That puts the cursor back up again, so you want that to be valid.
Question: since the measure, the beam measures the surface, right? Tries the surface to look for all the elements. Contamination is very easy, and which can create false readings as well, right? So in other words, the surface preparation really matters.
Eventually.
So is there something recommended?
Like if you touch it with your fingerprint, you're going to pick up sodium.
Exactly. So no touching the surface, obviously. But is there a way that you're going to clean the surface?
You could buy an etcher.
The what?
An etcher.
Etcher.
Yeah, sputter coater / etcher. Basically, you insert your sample into an etcher, and it removes any surface contamination from the sample. We could supply one of those for you guys. They're like $7,000. Yeah, it's a sputter coater / etcher. It does both. Not only does it coat, you could put, like for instance, on older SEMs, everything gets sputter coated. Like Dan's SEM, he has a sputter coated and an etcher. So he's coating with like gold palladium or whatever he's using to coat, but then you can etch that sample too. So it has a flap that comes over, it puts a bias potential on the flap and pulls off all contaminants off the sample surface. Or you could do, you could try, alcohol, methanol, drying.